Okay, when COVID-19 first started, I already had quite a good investment strategy in place, but I do know a lot more now. And one of the first things I did when COVID-19 happened is when I started reading about the Great Depression that happened in the 1930s, which then led on to World War II. The Great Depression is something that you should probably read about. There's a lot of similarities in terms of how things can just dive bomb overnight and then kind of leave people penniless. And I think COVID-19 is the time of our generation, like they had 100 years ago. What the US stock market was doing in the early 1900s up until now. And you can pinpoint the Great Recession in the 1930s. You can pinpoint the 1987 recession, the dot-com bubble recession, and the 2008 recession, because it's just a line that goes like that. And then you can kind of see these kind of like recovery patterns over time, and eventually it's a smooth line that goes up. So one thing about COVID-19, it was kind of, to me, it was like, wow, everything's going to drop, everything's going to get cheaper than what they're worth. And that's of course where we're kind of at now. We're kind of at this position now where things are kind of in the middle range, and we're trying to figure out whether there's going to be this new normal which is going to damage some of these traditional stocks forever. The airline is something that should be looked at in particular, because will it go back to what it was? Will people travel as much? And if they do travel as much, will they travel in the same way? I think Boeing has had severe problems because they had a couple of crashes before COVID-19. But the thing is, even with all this stuff, there seems to be this willingness to get back to normal, and therefore these big companies just keep on growing. And in a way it's quite scary, but it seems inevitable because we're a capitalist society. So when things drop, whether it's cruise line or whether it's an airline, if it's not going to go bust, it's going to survive. And these people have the best strategic managers around, so they're going to find a way out of this tunnel, a way out of these dark times, no matter what. And it'll be through technology innovation, through finding out new ways of flying planes, whether it's electric or hydrogen. Or it can be the fact that someone like Airbus, remember, big companies, they don't just do one thing, they don't fly planes, they also do things like they own satellite technology and things like that. So it's not normally as straightforward as there will be no more planes in the future, so don't invest in Boeing or Airbus. It's just not that straightforward. You need to do your research on these companies. A lot of the tech stocks obviously have done very well, looking at Zoom, looking at Amazon, looking at anyone who would be particularly benefiting from a lockdown society. And a lot of these, I think, will also survive in the future because people are going to carry on using these, people are going to carry on working from home. There is going to be this new normal that emerges. So for me, I found it very interesting just to sort of dig into these companies and understand a lot more. And I think if anything, during COVID-19, I've just built my knowledge. And I've also gone back to those books like the Benjamin Graham Intelligent Investor and remembered the fundamentals of investing that will see you through those dips and give you a bit of confidence that you are holding the right amount of stocks, the right stocks and the right amount of money in each stock to make sure that when things do go up, that you are along that journey. If you go into buying and selling, you're really going to be playing these little games where any outcome is possible, and that is not a game that I particularly want to play.